I am Rafa Benitez. You are watching the Redmen TV.
Hello and welcome. It's Tuesday the 1st of March. Did you say white rabbits this morning? Does anyone else do that? My mum's crazy. She says white rabbits on the first day of the month apparently brings you luck. Could have done with it in the cup final, couldn't we? But hopefully, white rabbits. First thing said out my mouth, will beat Man United this month in the Europa League. We've got some news today. It's kind of the fallout of the League Cup, a little bit of transfer speculation, a bit of contract talk about John Flanagan. What we're going to start off with Christian Benteke to China. A number of different sites are reporting, a number of different papers are saying that apparently a bid was made by a Chinese Super League club in January for Christian Benteke. No actual club mentioned, no actual real concrete figure mentioned. It may just all be a little bit of bullshit, but who knows? I think one thing's clear, Klopp doesn't fancy Christian Benteke. We've seen that against Aston Villa when we were 4-0 up, was it? 3-0 up, 4-0 up. Origi came onto the pitch ahead of him. That was his former team. That's a relegation candidate. That's a championship defence who were already reeling, and he didn't think about putting Benteke onto the pitch. And also at the cup final, Origi got the nod ahead of him. I think it's safe to say that we will be looking to sell Christian Benteke in the summer, and we'll be trying to recoup as much money. 32.5 million, that's a lot of money. We need to try and recoup as much of that as possible. A, just because it's not nice to waste 12, 15, 20 million pounds. B, we need to put that money back in the coffers to actually replace him in the squad. So China might be an option. Apparently the bid came in, like I say, we don't know who it was from. And Christian turned it down, which I think is admirable. He said he wants to stay and fight for his place. And he's not at the point where it's a Mario Balotelli in my mind and in my heart, where I'm like, get out, lad. You just get rid, take the bid. He wants to fight for his place. Okay, he's better than the Chinese league. He's a Premiership footballer. He's probably a top quality Premiership footballer. He just doesn't fit our football and the players we've got around him. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know who's going to be splashing cash. I don't know where we're going to get that 20 to 25 million pound bid for him. I hope someone comes in for him. I just find it a little bit ironic that the player we tried to buy in January, Alex Teixeira, ended up going to the Chinese league, and Benteke, who we obviously would have found his place, he's found his place limited at the moment. He definitely would have found it knocked down the pecking order again if we'd have brought Teixeira in. Ended up going to China, and Benteke didn't. The other news is Jordan Henderson, captain of Liverpool Football Club, has come out and said that John Flanagan needs to be offered a new contract. Flanagan, he's out of contract in the summer. I agree, I echo that sentiment. I'll tell you the quote. The quote is, "It's huge that it gets sorted out. I don't think players and people like Flano grow on trees, to be honest." And I think that's right. As a Liverpool fan and as someone who's a native to Liverpool, I like seeing local Liverpool players in and around the squad. I don't want them there just because they're Scouts. They've got to be there on merit. But I think Flanagan has shown us in the 2013-14 season, he was a vital part of that team that almost won the league. And even since he's come back, he played really, really well. He got the standing ovation against Exeter when he returned. The cop loves him, the fans love him. The team seem to love him. You know, Jordan Henderson coming out and saying that about him like he's a character. He knows the club. He's been there since he was 10, 11. His dad played for Liverpool reserves. It's in his heart. He's got the club's best wishes at heart and in his mind. He really wants to do well for us. Obviously, there's the fitness issue. Is he back? Is it going to break down again? Who knows? I hope the club are trying him to see whether he's fit or not, and they'll offer him and they'll get him a contract, even if it's only like a 1 year or 2 year one. Because I think he'd sign a contract with Liverpool unless we offer a ridiculously derisory offer. He's 23, should be coming into his peak. I think he gives us a great option on both full-backs positions. We've seen that he can play at left-back as well as right-back, and that's something that we actually need in the squad. Another player who is a Scouser, who is out of contract as well, is Jordan Rossiter. I think he falls into a slightly different camp. I don't think he's proven enough to say that he's guaranteed to be getting a contract. I'd, again, like to see him offered a shorter-term contract because I don't want to see him leave the club. But if Klopp hasn't actually been able to see him, he's been injured as long as Klopp's there, but if Klopp doesn't see him ahead of Kevin Stewart, if he doesn't see him ahead of Flanagan or even Chilwell in that centre-mid position as one of the younger options, do we really need to be throwing money on a player who he doesn't think he's going to use? So that's interesting. But I personally want John Flanagan to be offered a new contract. Talking about Henderson, there's been some criticism from Charlie Adam, former Liverpool player Charlie Adam, on TalkSport about him not stepping up to take a penalty. So I'll say Charlie Adam's quote first and then I'll give you my opinion on it. Charlie Adams said, "Strange. If I'm the captain of the football club, then I'm first up. If I'm supposedly England's best striker, then I'm second up, and that's it. I know if it was Steven Gerrard, he'd have been first up. If it was Luis Suarez, he would have been second up. That's just the way it is. It's their nature." And I kind of agree with that. Now, actually, I don't give a fuck what Charlie Adam thinks. He wasn't a great player for us. He's not been a great player, but he is someone who's played with those players he's talking about. I can just tell you from my perspective as a Liverpool fan, I was very disappointed with who were the 4 penalty takers on Sunday in the Capital One Cup final, and I was disappointed that Milner was down for 5th. Now, apparently Henderson was up as 6th, and Sturridge was ruled out from taking a pen because of cramp. I'm of the belief that you top end your penalties, you put your best penalty takers first, and that would have meant that Jordan Henderson should have been 1 or 2, and Milner should have been in that position 1 or 2, and that might have got us off to a flyer. You never know. It's a hypothetical, but what I think it definitely speaks to, I think it speaks to the lack of character that we've lost over the last few years. The 2 names that Charlie Adams thrown out there, Luis Suarez and Steven Gerrard, they're not only world-class talents, but they were winners. They wanted to win. They fought really hard, and they would die to win on that pitch. They were players who left it all out on that pitch. And since they've left the team, you've seen in the semi-final defeat against Aston Villa, you've seen now in the cup final defeat against Man City, that we actually are lacking that little bit extra drive from our big name players. And whether that's Daniel Sturridge not wanting to take a pen because he's got cramp, or whether that's Jordan Henderson not feeling like he could be part of the 5, I think it's the big players in our team, who are Henderson the captain, who are Coutinho, who are Sturridge, to stand up and actually drag us over and give us that little bit extra. And if they've not got it in their nature. Charlie Adam talks about Jordan Henderson being a shy character and being quite a relatively quiet person. Now, that was based on him being in the squad of him 3 or 4 years ago when he was a young player who just made the move. But he isn't exerting his influence the way we're used to seeing captains, and that's horrible to criticise someone based on Steven Gerrard, the greatest player to ever play for this football club and one of our best captains, who was Mr. Liverpool, who did win it for us. But unfortunately, they're the shoes that Jordan Henderson's got to step into and got to start filling. And I'm beginning to wane on whether I think he's the right choice to be our captain. I don't know who it is within the club. I don't know if you can buy someone in to then replace. But I'm seeing a lack of big game stepping up from Jordan Henderson that he needs to address. Whether that's purely down to his injury or whether that's something that he just doesn't have in him, I don't know. But I think we need to address in the summer the lack of big name characters and big winners in our squad, and we also need to have the players who are already there, Daniel Sturridge, Jordan Henderson, Coutinho, to name 3, to step up and actually start to give us that. And the last little bit of news, it's a bit sad actually, and it's a little bit irrelevant, but hopefully everyone will get behind it. So Tom Henry, who's a Liverpool fan, who's had a banner that he's took to the Kop for many years, and now he takes to away games. He took it to Wembley for the cup final. It's a 5-foot by 15-foot banner. We're going to put it in the thumbnail for this video because it's probably the best visual to illustrate this video as well. It says, "All those who have a red heart can rejoice, for they have seen God." And it's a picture of Fowler. And he took it to the cup final with him on Sunday, and it's gone. It got lost. I don't want to say he got robbed, because we don't know what happened to it. All we know, he didn't get it back. And the quote from him was, he went down with 30, 40 friends and family on a coach to the game. "Coming home without it, we were devastated. That was our biggest defeat." And it sounds a bit mad, it sounds a bit trivial, it's just a banner. But you know what? That's what makes our club great. Banners made about personal heroes, banners that have lived for 10, 15, 20 years in the ground. Though this has been signed by Fowler. Apparently there's stories, quotes, saying Fowler actually used to look for the banner when he was playing, and it used to make him feel bigger and better. And he's actually retweeted it himself, so it's out on social media. So if you know where the banner is, just get it back. He's actually said he doesn't care. He'll pay for the postage himself. He doesn't want to know what happened to it. Maybe it's gone on one of those mad journeys like the gnome in Amelie. So there'll be like a load of photos of it getting pissed up all around London. It's gone on a crazy journey to get back to Liverpool. But let's just get Tom Henry, his Fowler God banner back. Because I want to see that. Our away games, I want to see it back at Anfield, because what else are you going to do with it? It's 5 by 15 foot. It's like a very hard thing to pretend that you've suddenly just found, or you're just going to hang it in your bedroom, you're going to have it as your new curtains. So let's get the banner back for them. So that's the news today on the 1st of March. We've got Man City coming up tomorrow at the repeat of the cup final. Hopefully we can put a dent in their title charge, just because I'm a little bit bitter because they stole silverware from us. We've got loads of collabs with Martin from Blue Moon Rising. So we've done a start 11 prediction show for us, a start 11 prediction show for them. He came over and did our build up with us. We've got Paul did a combined 11 of who he'd have from the Liverpool team and the Man City team. So that's all on our channel now, so you can go and finish watching this video and watch that. Don't forget to comment below down here, tell me how stupid I am, tell me that banners don't matter, that Flanagan should have a contract, that he shouldn't have a contract, that Henderson is good enough to be our captain, or who you would make captain if Henderson isn't. And don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.
Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show. Liverpool taking on Man City again. Yes, we're here to talk about it, which is amazing. Aubrey Reynolds is here. Martin Flanagan, coming over from Blue Moon Rising TV, is here to provide a sky blue perspective on things.